Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Well, guess what? It's a little overcast, drizzly day here in Patterson, Texas. Sitting out here on the Chocolate Buddha stage, and I just got back from the post office, and I got me a piece of partial. It's from Meg and Todd Oak in Henderson, North Carolina. I wonder what to get me. They sent me this, took all these stamps here. Let's see. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's the Chris Chandler spin book. We're going to have a little fun now. I may sit here and just read it to you. Chandler's Spin. Observations from a Roadside Diner. Chris Chandler, Volume 18. Look at me a little note. Look at the little note. Look at the little note. Ah, yes. Oh, isn't this sweet? Among my favorite Kerrville Folk Festival memories is sitting under our tree with a buzzing cicada as Chandler held forth on the main stage. Magical. Hope this finds you and the women folk well. Love from NC, Todd. Thank you, Todd. Well, Chandler Spin. Let's give it a whirl. I don't know how long it'll take me. An hour? I don't know. Let's just let the video roll. Chandler Spin. Observations from a Roadside Diner. Chris Chandler. Ninth Wave Publishing, Oakland, California. For Jen. Got some kind of thing for the order up where they put your orders for at the diner. All right. Freedom is thanking a God you don't believe in. Haiku are obscure, often hard to understand. Refrigerator. Death is like a kid in a candy store. Life is an eternal dental appointment. Much waiting and torment, flipping through back issues of life, waiting for the inevitable bad news, which is sure to be followed by much pain. The reason some people want us poor folks to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps is to get us to bend over. Activists and pacifists are acronyms. Memory game. I'm not sure, but I think I had this game as a kid. I sometimes mistake my imagination for my memory. All spontaneous utterances should be memorized in advance. All living matadors are undefeated. If giving is better than receiving, then wanting must be better than having. I once had a temporary tattoo that read youth. Does pi backwards have no beginning? It was the rooster that came first. Believe me, I have contemplated all the pros and amateurs of freedom stability. I am comfortable with the fact that a comfortable chair allows me to be comfortable with myself, while reading my self-help books that teach me to be comfortable with myself. Can you imagine? The first guy to see some other guy walking through the woods pushing a cart, him crying out to his friend, "Damn kids today! While back in our day, we just picked up heavy stuff and carried it. Just because it's make-believe doesn't mean I believe it. Oh, just because it's make-believe doesn't mean I don't believe it. There it is. That's better. Just because it's make-believe doesn't mean I don't believe it. That's right. Just because it was funny doesn't mean I was kidding. Follow the drinking gourd. It is kind of ironic that the mythical of all captors helped the runaway slave escape the mythology of their captors. They say that the wheel was mankind's greatest invention, but I say it wasn't the wheel, it was the axle. Isn't every drunk on some level a functional alcoholic? One man's dysfunctional is another man's high achiever. The harder you fall, the higher you bounce. Storytelling is the art of telling truth with lies. She said, "We'll be home after dark." I said, "No, we'll be home after light." The thing that sucks about having a good idea is that hard work will soon follow. And what self-respecting dreams of hard work? Polysymbolic is, monosymbolic is not. Freedom is glancing in the mirror and not noticing yourself. Our lives hang in the air like musical notes. Sometimes we lift towards heaven like the angels of Chagall, or we slip downward to the terrestrial baritone of a lead-belly ballad. Either way, all is Coltrane. Louis Armstrong sings Cole Porter, and we are walking on, standing on, sleeping on music. Time was tired, had enough of constantly being watched, measured, and resented. Tired of being beaten, waited on, wasted, and even killed, and then completely lost track of when all was going well. I was afraid of my face, my fears, so I turned my back on them. At least the robber barons of the Gilded Age left us with the concert halls, public libraries, and museums all over the country. Some of the finest buildings ever built. But do today's robber barons leave us with? A Sam Walton Junior High School sports complex in Texarkana, Arkansas. Put it next to Carnegie Hall? Hell, you can hardly tell the difference. Oh, how the tables turn. I had come home to help take care of her, but she found strength from my illness. It was the only time in my life I was glad to be sick. The only thing I could do was lay back and savor the taste of chicken noodle soup and saltines, because I knew it would be the last time my mother would ever mother me. What does an insect see when lights on a mirror? What does an insect see when it lights on a mirror? Does it register vanity? Does it pause and comb its tiny antenna? Or contemplate the slightest overbite to its mandible? What does it hear when it flies through a room where Mozart is playing? What defines music surrounds us every moment of every day that we do not hear. I leave my creativity to your imagination. I'm afraid she has crawled back inside a bottle, and even though the cork had been removed, she is not coming out. She simply has no way to grant your wish. I'm afraid she may stay in the bottle for a long time singing. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? But still, I am in love with a drunk. Walk softly and carry a big carrot. It's like naming your sports team the Washington Redskins, or to your subdivision, Nez States, or your town Taos, or your state Dakota, or your method of traveling across the high plains in search of buffalo wings, a Winnebago. And the only thing I know for sure is there aren't too many Delaware Indians living on Manhattan Island who can get a Schomburg bank to give them a loan from a Cherokee. As for the Seminole, they remain unconquered to this day. Think about that the next time you go down Hollywood, California, feed a picture of Andrew Jackson into his slot machine. Perhaps the casinos are the Indians' way of paying white people back for bringing them the 40-ouncer. Still, there are some out there that say, give me the familiar, let me hear Hotel California just one more time. It doesn't matter how young, how old, how middle-aged you are, you will go through the rest of your life listening to the music you listened to in 9th grade. And you will always dance exactly the way you danced in 9th grade. I find that the miracle is not in the miraculous. Though all of this searching for the stupendous, the lotto tickets, you want to be a millionaire, all I can say, thank God we are not given what we want. No, instead we are all given is each day, and each day is a prize, a gift, hidden amongst junk. I don't know about you, but I would rather hang with somebody who's looking for answers rather than someone who has found them. Freedom is losing a contest, shaking the hand of the winner, looking them in the eye and saying, no hard feelings. Freedom is having hard feelings. Freedom is taking those hard feelings and tying them to a stick so they can be used as a hammer to build a cathedral for the one that made you feel that way. The reason I did not cross the road was I wanted to go down it. Going down the road feeling bad with a rubber chicken hanging from my rear view. We are standing upon a giant G chord in perfect pitch must be obtained by the imperfect musicians within this orchestra of infinite uncertainty, striking impossible harmonies in order to create this world where all is song, all is song, all is song. The army turned me down. They said I was out of control. The Rainbow family said that was my worldview wasn't whole. The Deadheads told me to get a job. Mother Teresa, she refused to treat me. Gandhi, he began to beat me. Alcoholics Anonymous didn't give me a cup of coffee. Sure, Texas is big, but I don't think it's ugly. In fact, I think it's beautiful. It has so far surpassed the zenith of ugliness that it is perfect, even if it is perfectly ugly. You can't argue with perfection. In and of itself, it's not beautiful. I offered first choice of dueling pistols to an ATM, and I considered it a fair fight. Walt Whitman went wild on the pharmaceutical aisle. It was number 21. He did depart with a shopping cart full of multicolored condoms. He said, I sing the body electric. I sing the body electric. Oh yes, I sing the body electric. But these days, I do it safely. I heard a street corner poet say, rock and roll was once a threat, but these days... I'll repeat that again. I heard a street corner poet say, rock and roll was once a threat, but these days, rock and roll is a lifetime anthology. The very thing that the Sirius satellite is named for has been given second-class status by, well, the Sirius satellite itself. One of nature's greatest feats has been replaced by something man-made, like Barry Bonds beating Hank Aaron's home run record, which, when we watch that crap, America is idle. You can't look at the stars and predict a pattern like you can share at a wallpaper in a Cracker Barrel. I mean, sure, the stars are wallpaper, but they are God's wallpaper, and God does not shop at Home Depot, although he does occasionally hire Mexicans out of the Home Depot parking lot just to piss off Republicans. All we got is this one short life, in which we can walk upon the earth or lie upon the grass as we stare into the clouds and imagine the world's glorious design. For it is your imagination that is the world's glorious design. I say, God bless the winter, for it is both an end and a beginning. It is something that brings us to praise the hard yellow warmth of chimneys as we gather in tighter circles to hear the tales of the harsher seasons until the snow melts. When we can venture out into the severity of spring, armed with fresh vim to conquer the oncoming year. Throughout human history, some new invention comes along that changes us forever. The wheel, the printing press, the lazy boy. What's left is right. What's right is wrong. What's wrong is left for us to write together. The Eggman. If you people don't stop singing that women oh crap, you're going to wake up the line. You're going to wake up the line. I sort of don't get that. I think that's we don't know me down the line. Crap. You're going to wake up the lion. That's right. Freedom is drawing underarm hair on advertisements hanging in the subway. Then writing a letter to the ad company thanking them for printing the ads that way. Activists and pacifists are acronyms. Once you become one with God, once you become one with God, do you then have to pray to yourself? Aware of my own awkwardness in accepting the fact that such an absurd pop song has captured the zeitgeist of my generation, but too wrapped up in the group experience to care. I strike my cigarette lighter and hold it in the air. Others follow suit, and I realize that we, like fireflies, are greater as a collective, as a whole, as a union, than we could ever be as one. Hindsight is only 20/20 when you have some sort of vision to begin with. The past 6 years, we had Mr. Magoo sailing the ship of state off the edge of the flat earth. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. And then they want to take one nation under God out of the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't have a problem with the phrase one nation under God. What I have a problem is people pledging allegiance. I'm still searching for a prize, but these days I search through catalogs. I search through those catalogs of catalogs. I log on to catalogs. I log on to IGottaHaveMore.com. I order Cracker Jack boxes from all over the world and dig through mountains of caramelized popcorn searching for the prize. Staring at the monitor, still missing the circus. I have seen the best minds of my generation writing ad copy. As poor as it remains, poor people killing poor people for chump change, they'll let you keep your guns. Oh, Father, forgive me for my credit rating, as I forgive those who have bounced checks to me. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the too many inquiries and a poor debt-to-credit ratio, I would fear no evil if I just had a better credit rating. The cop said, "Oh, you've been hanging out with that Jesus fella? Last time we pulled him over, you should have seen his blood alcohol content. We pulled him out of the car and sure he walked on water, but not in a straight line." And so it came to pass that 3 wise men came westward, from the land of the rising sun across the 4 corners and the painted desert, where they came to behold the bright neon star illuminating the sky high above the Tropicana Hotel and Casino in Laughlin, Nevada. Stories like the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran, and didn't all 3 of them warn us about worshiping a false American idol? As I reached the 70th or 75th floor, my ears began to pop, for I was so close to God, I could actually hear him count his money. Hey, Rooster. At the airport, they asked, "Mr. Chandler, what is your final destination?" I answered, "Well, heaven, I hope." Yes, you are the center of the universe, because the universe is infinite. And from wherever you stand, it is the equal distance in any direction. And that by definition is the center. I love that, Rooster. In a very definition of the American dream implies, you are asleep. I got a pocket call from my dreams. I hadn't heard from them in a long time, and clearly they didn't mean to call. They were hanging out, talking with the dreams of others. Who were these dreams my dreams were hanging out with? Here we are. It's like Horton Hiller's Who, only in reverse. The elephant is running around the galaxy trying to get everyone in the universe to shout at once, "We are here," so that we here on earth will know that heaven is out there. I remove my jacket to use it as a shield to dodge the fruit that is flying at me from the audience. But somewhere in an alternative universe, a bull sees it as a signal to charge. There is a large swelling of applause, and then I realize they are rooting for the bull. I'm the kind of rebel that, on those rare occasions, wherever I am in charge of something, I feel a need to question my own authority. I find myself looking in the mirror shouting, "Don't let me tell me what to do." Alarm clocks all over the world went on strike and only played lullabies. As my grandfather clock mixed Viagra with his prune juice and belted out a smoking rendition of James Brown's Sex Machine. Still, somehow, it is our free will that leaves us standing in cheap man-made materials sewn in some sweatshop in a deplorative country, distant within ourselves. Just remember, when you're going through hell, you just got to keep going, because the world is round. And you come out on the other side. Wonder why everybody is speaking in an Australian accent? I don't know, Mike. The Constellations are the longest running show in human history, but then it got canceled by a new show called Smog. So now people go to sleep watching shows like American Idol, where the premise is for the people to become the stars that no longer exist. Though in truth, I thought a raw food diet just meant I could no longer toast my Pop-Tarts. Having a bad memory is the only thing that gives me a clear conscience. Afterlife is simply that, afterlife. Excuse me. The life that we leave and the world that we have helped create after our own life has left us after life. The power of good is greater than the power of evil, just not by very much. It is a struggle, the future is, but it can be predicted, because what is ahead of us depends solely upon what is inside us. I give credits for all the writer collaborations between Chris Chandler and Phil Rockstro. Give some credit. There's another order turntable. What's your diner order forms? That's great. Chandler's Spin is a collection of one-liners, witticisms, euphemisms, and, well, Chandlerisms, if you will. These personal observations are pulled from Chandler's glove compartment of skewed thinking, rabble-rousing, and naked nostalgia. Chandler's Spin is a 3-book series of unique commentaries distilled upon Chandler's 30 years on the road, performing, writing, and recording. This is good. So check out Chris Chandler, www.chrischandler.org. chrischandler.org. Well, thank you, Todd Hope. I really enjoyed it. And I suggest everybody go out and get their own copy of one of these and send it to their friend. Cheers, everybody.